Hello guys, welcome to the last part of this series. So in the last session, we have seen that how we have converted everything into the mobile version. Now, in this last session, what we're going to do is we are going to make animations on the view. Okay, so if you check out the uh, design. Okay, so if I run this, and bring the, okay, so if I bring this, you can see that animation that's going on. Okay, so it's not too much animations, but still we can add this much amount of animations. So while doing it, we may do it a little bit, there may be we can add a little bit of delay over here. Okay, so I think that would look okay. Anyway, so let's switch back to our editor and see this is our uh, final product that we have, and we already have a JavaScript file already set, which we use to set up the menu. Okay, we will not be needing this as such, but let's go back to our main file and go to styles. Let's come down and add a new section for animations. Okay, now for the animations, what we are going to do is we are going to first select the element that we are going to animate. So let's suppose we want to animate the hero image first, right? So let's select that, and let's set a hero image. Okay, so we have this hero image selected. Now here I want to now to animate this, we have to set, the first thing that we have to do is start with animation. Okay, so Visual Studio code helps us in, with the hint of all the things that we have to specify. Okay, so you can see the first part is animation name. So let's give our animation name, let's call it slide in left. Okay, so our animation, this particular animation is going to slide in from the left. Okay, now the duration is going to be 500 millisecond. Okay, the timing function, we can there are many timing functions that are there, but we are going to use ease in. Okay, and right now we are not going to use any delay. Okay, so I don't want any delay. As soon as the page loads, the things should come in. Okay, then the iteration count, how many times this should happen, so we don't want that. The direction, that also I don't want. Then the fill mode, I want fill mode to be, to retain the size, so let's call it forwards. Okay, we will see if this is required later, but for the time being, yes, we are going to use it. So once this is done, now I can set up the animation with the help of keyframes and the name of the animation. So this is the name of the animation, and this, whatever I type inside this will be the animation that is going on. Okay, so inside the keyframes you need two things, minimum two things, that is to and from. Okay, so basically inside your animation you should have percentages of what should happen in what particular interval. Okay, so like for example, in my case, let's suppose I want to start from 0%. Okay, at 0% what should happen, and at 100% what should happen. Okay, so basically means that at at the beginning of the animation what should be uh, what should be the condition of this particular image, and at the end of the animation what should be the condition of the image. Okay, so this is what it means by 0% and 100%. Okay, so like that you can create any number of keyframes that you want. Let's say you want a different set for 50%. Okay, so you can do that. Okay, so for 50% you can have another keyframe, so you can have another keyframe for 60%, right? So you can have any number of keyframes, but for the time being I'm just going to use one keyframe, sorry, two keyframes, that is 0% and 100%. And in CSS this 0% also has an alias called to, sorry, from, and 100% has an alias called to. Okay, because every animation will have a from and to, that's why they have renamed 0% and 100% as from and to. Okay, so you can use any one of them, that is either you can use 0% or from or to or 100%. Okay, so whatever you feel like using you can use. Then once this is done, now you can set how it should look, right? So the first thing that I should do is I should, in the beginning, my animation should start, the image should not be visible, right? So I can say opacity of 0. Okay, so when I do that and save it, now you know, the next step would be, just let me just refresh. You can see something is happening, right? And when it finishes I should have an opacity of 1. Okay, so you can see it's animating slightly, right? Now next I want the image out of scope from here, so I want it somewhere in a different place. So I can do transform and translate in the x direction, and let's say negative 50 viewport width. Okay, maybe I would have to do a little more than that, let's see, but uh, let's see this much. Okay, so I think, okay, so I don't have to go so, yeah, this much is fine. Okay, I don't have to go so much inside the screen. Okay, so minus 30 viewport height. So now to adjust this we can obviously you know adjust the delay a little more. Okay, so you can see once this happens, if I put this sorry, the duration we can change to 1500 milliseconds and see this is how it looks, right? But we don't want such a slow animation, so we will stick we will go for 400. Okay, 400 millisecond. Next let's see what other things we have to do. Let's now create in the similar way, let's create slide in right also. So let's create another animation, slide in right. So here the only difference will be everything is going to be same. Instead of minus negative, that means it is coming from this side to this side, so it is going to you know come from this side, so that is fine. And now I have to apply this slide in right. Okay, so let's take the next one. Next image would be the main h1. and I can take the exact same thing, paste in over here, and instead of slide in left, I will do slide in right. Okay, so you can see this is coming from this side and this is coming from this side. Okay, so both of them are working. Now next would be the paragraph. Okay, so let's duplicate and let's replace this with paragraph, and I want this to be from the left. Okay, so you can see this is what happens, but this is what we have done in the last one, but I think we should increase a little bit of delay between all these three. So let's put 200 milliseconds delay and 400 milliseconds delay. Okay, so what this means is as soon as the page loads, the hero image will come. After the hero image reaches half of its duration, this will start, and after half the duration of that, this will start. Okay, so that is what I have done. Now if I save it, okay, so this is what it looks like. uh, okay, now only thing left is for the button, so I can duplicate this and I can set the button. Okay, now the button, obviously I can just animate with the help of slide in left or slide in right. So you can see, but I don't want the same type of an animation going on. So what I will do is I will add another keyframe and call it as fade in. Okay, so I will add a new animation which is going to be only fade in, which is simply going to uh, appear after a little while. Okay, so it is going to appear in. Okay, so fade in, so let's add that particular animation, and it should be coming in after everything is over, right? So let's save it, and you can see this works, but the animation itself is coming in a little late. Okay, so let me just show you. So you can see all of the things are working, but um, these all these things that we have set in the animations, what is happening is if you look at the button, it is much more clear. If I refresh, you can see the button is not there is, it is there from the beginning, only at the end of the animation it disappears and appears again. Okay, so the reason why that is happening is because we can set the initial opacity of everything to be no, I can hide everything with the command opacity 0, so that nothing is visible when the page first loads. Okay, so once that is done, then I think, yeah, so you can see how it's working. Okay, so I think our animation is working perfectly. Now the only thing that is left is, you can see the scroll bar is appearing, and I don't know why this scroll bar is coming again, because we have taken care of it, but let's see why. Okay, just let's inspect and check what is the problem. Oh yeah, no wait, it is the main, and it is taking 121 pixels. Okay, I think the body, we have changed it directly. Am I correct? Yeah. So this we changed it. Okay, so that was a big problem. So we should change it inside the responsive part. Okay, so this is the part. So I will add the body style over here and remove everything except these calculations. So for responsive, this should be 15 pixels. Okay, because we have changed the size of the header. But for the uh, desktop view, this should be set back to 40 pixels. I think that was the padding that was applied. Yeah, so you can see this is the padding that was applied. So I am bringing uh, the size of the body down a little. Okay, so now if I save it, now you can see that particular scroll bar is gone. Okay, so that's my final design. So you can see how it works perfectly. So if I refresh, the animation should kick in. Exactly, perfect. Okay, so now I can check the responsive design also. So you can see at this particular stage it changes the structure. Okay, and when I click on this particular element, we uh, get the responsive. Okay, now I see a new problem. The problem is, okay, so I think we will have to do some corrections to this. You can see what is happening is when I open this particular UL, it is coming behind the main content. Okay, so for that, we can do one thing. We can go to our responsive design, and in the nav.ul part, in the show menu, we can set the Z index to a little higher. Okay, so now if I open, now I get it a little better. Okay, so now the menu is coming on top of it. Okay, okay, so even though your design is perfect, you feel like it is perfect, then again always there will be some corrections. Okay, so I think our design is ready. If there are any queries, you can comment in the comment in below this video. Okay, then I hope you understood the concept of how you can design something in Figma and then convert it into an HTML and CSS file. Okay, I will be creating more such videos on such designs. Till then, have a nice day.